too crazy. And you did it. Hi. Hi, everybody. So, hello, Paul Bennett. Hello, Lisa Arendt. Hello, Line Cook Thor, Jamie Thaxton, Susan Attai, John Sheffield, Stanley F. Mike Manning. It's been a while since I've seen you on, Mike. Matt Slasher, Pops in the Tube, Scott Coiner, Realm will be your nightmare, Ken Leshy Zarish, Ellis Fire, Mario, Carol Borden, hello, it's good to see you, Adam Durbin, Sons of Wayne, Larry Hughes, Mrs. CB, and Sarah R. You guys got a shout out tonight because you were on the early and I was on the late. And James Whittle.
Did you get Cat Swift?
He snuck in. Cat Swift? Did she sneak
you don't
in?
say hi to
in time?
Cat Swift, she gonna get you.
Right, she'll be an angry cat. No one wants an angry Cat
She
Swift.
gonna get you.
Okay, so
That's some juice. Hello.
why don't you go ahead and go to tripod? So yeah, so there's the two masks we're actually painting tonight. That is One Eye and Man Bat. Yeah, I'm gonna try and paint two. But first, I have to, of course, make myself a beverage. Hi, everybody. Oddbot, listen, I'm going to go in the other room. It's just going to be a second, okay? Don't freak out.
That's right, Cat. I am here, and therefore the dogs are here too, and that also means most likely we'll have a couple of cats in here. So, yes.
You guys don't know, like, 10 masks, and honestly, it's probably going to be close for 20 masks because I'm doing more than
Doing
one.
More than one at night.
Doing more than one a night. So, this is not for sissies, we'll call it.
Fear Pass? How do you know Fear Pass's name is Mario?
Because he always says, it's a me, a Mario.
In Munich.
Yeah, Mario in Munich.
Hey, Susan. Poison Sumac.
First thing is when you're going to paint stuff, you have to do the right mixes. This is a mix of Coke Zero and ice. If I were a different fellow, there'd be booze in here. But I'm a lightweight tea supply.
And Zach is with him. Hey, Zach.
Hey, Zach. Hey, Rue. Okay. So, let's get tripod cooking on this mice. And we're going to bathe this guy in flesh, and we're just going to do it with a brush. Now, I don't know. You guys let me know. If you guys, is it important to you to see the palette that I'm mixing on when I'm mixing colors? Like, I'm not mixing my flesh color. I'm just going to use flesh straight out of my bottle. Why don't you go to Ozbot while I go get some brushes? I'm not a terribly prepared person.
Hey, John C. and Christopher Lazo. Hello, Stacey Hawkins. Hello, Paul Bennett. He says, I'm working on transforming one palette into 4 by 8 palettes for the font and add landscaping paper so we can work on 3D paint on that.
Oh, I love doing 3D paintings. That's actually a lot of fun. I like that work.
So guys, let us know. Do you want to see him mixing this mixing palette? Please.
Go see. Whoa! Are you plugged in still?
No.
Okay, you should fix it. Let's hope it still works. So what happened just now was we heard a cat making noise outside, like a ah, and is it lit up?
Lit.
Try a Beast Man fist bump, see if it works.
Here we go, guys. Beast Man. This is for you.
Yeah. Okay, it works. Good. Some like when a camera gets unplugged, it's over. It's done for the night. So
That gave me a heart attack.
yes, yes.
Guys, I gotta stop doing
The
that.
doggos are wackos. Why don't you go to tripod cam?
Kat says, seeing the mixing isn't that important because you can tell us about the colors. More important to see the work.
Yeah, see the work.
Lisa says, not my Boris. He is perfect. Oh my. Well, of the 3, he's the most well behaved.
He is the most well behaved of.
So are you going to do 2 a night?
Well, look, I'm guaranteeing one of them,
That's a lot of masks.
and odds are good that 2 will happen.
We need another building.
Honey, I've been telling you we need another building. I'm glad that we're in agreement.
I'm sort of in agreement.
When that bill rolls across your desk, you just realize that this is your idea.
Bill won't come unless there will be no bill unless I approve them.
Well,
Hello, John C. just
it'd be
gave a
nice if things worked that way, wouldn't it?
Yes. Alan Durbin says, first to like. Give Alan a like, guys. Thank you. Hey, Riot Demon.
It's a riot demon. I'll throw back a bottle of beer.
Riot Demon would like to know which mask are we working on?
We are working on One Eye, and there's a man bat mask that we're working on. You've probably seen him a couple times. And I'm going to actually go ahead, I'm going to base flesh both of them first. And that will help me in the longer run.
John C. wants to know, do you install a bigger dog door every 2 weeks?
No, we got the biggest dog door they have. And I've already upgraded this dog door once.
Just hope they don't get bigger.
Yeah, and yeah, if they get too big for this dog door, then they're not coming in here. Guys, they're fighting over a unicorn. That's what's happening right now. And I'm gonna. It's over.
What?
They're no
Oh.
longer fighting over unicorn.
Never mind.
So go to
Tripod.
yeah. There.
I had such hopes. I was trying to get cute dog video, and yet now it's changed. What's
Cute
the name
dog
of
video.
that skull, Alan?
What's that?
What is the name of that skull?
This is One Eye because he's got
Jones!
one eye. I got Jones, honey.
Here's Jones. He's your
Jones's
favorite
butt.
cat. He just left you.
He's being sniffed over by doggos.
Hi. Hey, buddy.
We can do Jones cam when he's up in your lap. That's where the phone cam is probably pointing.
Jones is here. Office supervisor.
There. Okay.
Stacy says that overlay is perfect. Brian Demon says, is your whole property fenced? Do you have to worry about any animals bothering dogs or vice versa?
The whole property is fenced. Animals that bother the dogs, well, they're squirrels. They can be vicious. They hate them forever. But yeah, like neighbor dogs and stuff, no, they don't come on the property. And sadly, our fence is such that the cats just walk right, back and forth right between it. Except I don't think Jenkins can squeeze through the fence anymore. She's a little rotund.
That's wrong. There you go. There's your favorite cat.
See, you now hit the Jones you can. See? Oh, you did?
Jones is a good boy. Okay, last time, you guys. Jones. All right.
Did it go up when you hit it, honey?
Did you guys get the Jonesy button?
Go to phone cam again and hit it. Make sure it's not showing up on there. This is
Did we not get our Jonesy overlay?
no, it didn't show up, honey.
Try again.
No, yeah, it's not showing up
Okay. Jones, your overlay.
on that camera. I think it showed up on tripod when you did it on tripod,
Try a tripod cam.
just not on phone cam.
Is that what we're learning? Let's try it on tripod cam.
Yeah, I think it works on that. Did it show up?
Yep. Does
Yeah.
it work on the phone cam?
Well, right now, I mean that's just a setting that I've got to mess with.
Okay. Is that Scully? Okay, yeah, it showed up on tripod. Things we're learning, guys. All right, let me see.
That's not so much a thing that we're learning as a setting that's wrong.
Okay. Matt Slasher says, I'm currently at work, so I'll be popping in and out. And Rue wanted to know if the Ozbot is working because Zach had not seen it yet.
The Ozbot is working, so you want to go to Ozbot just to amuse Zach?
This is for Zach. Zach is our friend and fellow haunter.
This is a robot camera that follows me around as I move through the shop.
Zach is asking for a fist bump. I
Um,
cannot deny Zach anything.
you could too. You could say no.
No. Zach, that's for you.
You don't just give out the Beast Man fist bumps.
I do to Zach.
Okay, that's fine.
He and I love plants.
Because you love plants.
Because we love plants. Zach and I are botanical buddies. Alright, you can put it back to the tripod can.
Why don't you do our new one?
Hey guys, so Alan, we had some stops to make today. And so guys, we had some stops to make today. There was a lot of running around. We had a lot of stops for things in the shop. And not every stop we made I needed to go in, trying to not be in every store. And so there's sometimes when I would wait in the car and sometimes he would wait in the car.
Yeah.
Final stop was mine because I have completely destroyed, worn out the only pair of sneakers I own. So I had to move sneakers. And I'm not a shopper like most women, like shoe shopping, whatever. I'd rather eat flies. So I was pretty fast, but still I was not that so fast that Alan could not study some YouTube on the way to the car. And today, this is what he learned to do.
Yeah, I learned to do a thing. So now can I zoom in on Hotspot now?
So what you got is picture in picture. So
Maybe
you
I
can
am
watch the
interested.
close-up of his work.
Yeah, this way you can see the work done. You know what? To make this better, I'll do this.
Yeah. And so you can see up close what he's working on, and then you can talk to
And
him.
yeah, if I'm talking, then I can engage you while I speak also. But I noticed that that's what's kind of hard is, I don't know. I like to look at people when I'm talking to, and I can't see you. Right now, you look like a tiny one-eyed robot, but that counts. And I think this might lead to more questions, honestly, because you can see the process very well. I don't think we're losing the personal touch of having a human in the frame.
Hey, Jan, I'm just not into shopping, not a shopper. I'd rather eat flies. So it had to be done. Everybody very much likes the PIP. Hi, gang. Awesome. I like the picture in the picture. Stacy says, oh, snap.
Oh, shit.
Picture in picture, you fancy so-and-so. Realm says that's cool.
I'm learning.
Paul says that's better.
Yeah, in this way, Paul actually has lips. He can watch tiny lips while he's trying to decipher what our lovely captioning system is saying.
Riot Demon really likes this.
Yeah, I figured this would be the best view. And if I go out of frame or something with the tripod, just give me a heads up.
Ron Shep says, now if we still see a fat hand gets in the way. You've been watching YouTube for a while.
Yes. Fat hand is always going to get in the way. And I'm going to change something up here so that I can...
Chad Smith, hello. What would you add to flesh tone to get more of a dead look?
What would I add? Oh, wait. No, I can't do this.
Hang on, Chad. We'll get you an answer.
I can't do this. I can do this. Okay. You add a little bit of black. Add a little bit of black. What I was worried about is that the other window is covered up, but you can still. I have to keep a window open in order to get the closed captioning, and apparently I just found a bypass because now I have a big screen where I can see what's on the screen. Shannon is handling comments. I don't have to see those. I think I'm good.
Okay, so the answer for Chad's question about how many flesh tone more dead is to add black.
Yeah, a little bit of black because that's going to give you grayer, and you want to gray it out a little bit. So really you want to add gray when most blush tones are light enough, a little bit of black will fit.
So, Riot Demon and Cat Swift agree with me about hating shopping. Not shopping. I call it hummingbird shopping. I go in for exactly what I want. I come out. I don't linger. I don't mosey around. I'm in. I'm out like a hummingbird, and I don't want to fuss with it.
And see, and I don't really feel that way at all because I want to go in and I want to look at things you can't shop to use stuff the wrong way. You have to just go look at everything and figure out how you can use it, and that's what I end up doing quite a bit.
Well, I suppose it depends on the store you're in.
Yeah.
If you're going into a athletic store to buy a pair of sneakers or running shoes or something, and there may be some things that you could use there. It's always possible. But to go in that store, I'd rather look at fishing gear.
Yeah.
And that's not what I was in there for. So, yeah, I'd rather wear boots. Not shoes. I think I own 10 pair of shoes and 3 of them boots. So, 4 of them boots.
So I know exactly where my whole jar of T-pins lives. It's supposed to live up there, but there's no T-pins up there.
59 people are watching.
Hi, 59 people. And this guy doesn't have straps on yet.
Thanks, Rodney. Rodney says he loves the fit.
Awesome. You know, I think it's nice, but then it's a good balance of seeing the work and I can have eye contact and talk to you. What'd you say, honey?
I said, this is my preferred right now. I mean, I suppose use tripod cam for something, but right now this is nice.
Now, I will have to use the heat gun, of course, because it's a very moist day and these are not going to dry fast without it. I can take one of them. You know what, while I'm finishing this, I'm going to set this guy up where this big heater is kind of hitting him a little more.
Rodney says the robot cam is awesome. Bruce says T-pins was me. They're in the back.
Okay. I knew it was you. I just didn't want to call you out on it in front of all these people.
Chad says the wife and I were on our way to pick up latex. She said her feet were wet from cracks in her shoes. She never goes shopping for herself. So I stopped at the shoe store and I made her get new shoes.
Yeah. Do it.
Cat says I can spend the day in Home Depot or Lowe's, just not shopping for clothing or shoe or Target types. Ken says Alan is the one getting skin patches as well. Is that one getting skin patches as well?
No. And what I want to do is I want to showcase a lot of different techniques while we are doing these 10 days. So you won't see that exact thing again. You will see a fun technique with this, but it won't be that same technique. I already did that one, and I probably won't do it again.
Lockhart. First question. I went to Hobby Lobby for yarn to finish a blanket, and I came out with a wig with wig heads, paint, clay, and fake flowers. And the person that checked me out said, "You again?" I was like, "Yes, I'm horrible."
Good one buys all the heads, they say.
Root said, "Sorry, I had to put up a lot of masks on heads." Chad says, I shared to Connor's Tango, and I think I'm not very tense.
I appreciate that. And since these are so mask-centric, if somebody wanted to post it to like latex mask, that's cool. Now, last night things went off the rails, and I had to restart twice. So 3 videos got shared, you know. That's too much. But 1 video, share, great. And shares are where it's at. Like, shares are the best thing that can happen. Thumbs up are good, comments are always good, but sharing the video somewhere else so new people can discover it. I'm hoping that what I'm doing here is interesting, and we will get a few more subscribers on the channel.
Aaron Hughes says, pretty awesome with that view.
Yeah, this is something that I've wanted to work out for a while, and now we have it. I apologize for being a little bit quiet right now, but I'm just trying to not talk too much because I know the heat gun can mess with it. Audio, that is.
Hey, Beth. This is hello from North Carolina.
Hi, North Carolina.
Chad says, no, I didn't do it right. Like always, Scott has your back. He shared it. Thank you, Scott. Great House shared it to Mark's Toolbox.
Oh, awesome.
And Zach just subscribed. Thank you, Zach.
Thanks, Zach.
Stacy says, now that I'm hearing it from this side, it really doesn't sound that bad.
Okay, well, that's good to know.
Right.
I've never heard it from that side still. I don't have it set up to where I can actually hear the show, which is probably for the best because of feedback loops and whatnot. And I need to get another brush. I need a brush. I need a brush. I need it. Smart, I would move all the brushes closer to where I actually paint and stuff. You know? But I am not.
Stacy says, doggo cam. It is doggo cam. Osvadas.
Oh, when it's back far enough, yeah, it'll give them long.
I'm looking at that bat mask, and I keep thinking that it could make a great jungle cat mask with some adjustments around the nose. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong, but I have other cat masks that could do that better, I think. So now I have some magenta, and I'm gonna go in with that magenta in here, and just paint with precision. You don't want to be sloppy with this. You want to make sure that you really look at what you're doing and don't mess this up. This is going to just be like a red irritated area where that wound is. And we'll do the same magenta color kind of under the eye. And right now I'm using a big old acid brush.
Rodney Post says, what is the baby mask in the back?
Baby. Oh, well, this is not a mask. Well, it's out of a mold. This is a tester. This is the elastomeric roof coating that we used in order to pour this up. It was pulled a little early, so it was soft, but now it's actually very durable. This actually feels like what dolls are actually made out of. It feels like hard vinyl. It's good stuff. You guys hear that tapping? Yeah, this is solid. I like it. I'll use the elastomeric for other things that are props because I know that's UV rated for outside use. And it'll hold up a long time, much longer than something made out of just latex wood.
That sticky baby or a different one?
That is the not sticky baby.
Who wants to know the finger in the baby?
You know what? I put my finger in the baby this morning, and the baby was still moist and sticky. Probably tomorrow, I'm going to fill the baby up with plaster powder and let that suck some of that moisture and stickiness out of it. What? What I do?
Talking about sticky babies. RB says all babies are sticky and gross.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with you. We're down. We're on the same page, you and I, Horror Beauty. I knew we're friends for a reason. All right, so this guy, obviously, this is the poop on poop technique of colors. But I'm going to do a wash over this. I'm going to do a true rub out over this. And that's going to put a lot of browns in it, and it's going to blend these colors together a lot better. I'm going to go with an honest red now to really show some irritation around here.
Jeff Scully says, I don't know if you've already seen it, but Ace Clay made a miniature of Count Warlock based on the prop from Distortions Unlimited.
No, I haven't seen it. I have that prop, which I believe is a Jordan Shell sculpture. Let's do this.
Daza says, I bet snail babies are sticky. Bubblegum Monster. Chad Smith says, don't forget to always push on the baby's soft spot for mental development.
All right, so
Thanks, Chad.
snails are not, they're not amphibious. They are arthropods? Or what group are snails?
Where's John? John Sneed. John Sneed
And-
here. He'll answer.
I think they lay eggs. So I think they're snail eggs before there are snail bebes. Okay, so now I've got some red in here. Let's keep doing that. I want to paint this whole mask, and I want the wash to kind of be almost the very last thing. I should have a brown wash left over from yesterday when I did the carnivore mix.
Snails are gastropods.
They're gastropods?
Gastropods.
Yeah, that makes sense. So gastro involves stomach, and pods involve feet. So like the word pod is like feet. So maybe because they move around on their stomach. I know, not enough about Latin, that's for sure.
Bob O'Brien says, I love the screen and screen.
Yeah, I think it's we're very happy with it over here too. Really, only when it's dry can you see the real difference between the red. See how much different now the red is from that magenta that we had in there? I have to remember that we're screen and screen because sometimes I make weird faces. And if I know my face is off the camera, I have less control over my face. So one must control your face. Jones, what are you trying to get into, buddy?
Danny Flattery says, the screen and screen is nice to see different angles.
Well, yeah, yes, it is. I like there's a person in it. And I can modify it a little bit more because Ozbot is pretty zoomed out. I think we could zoom in a little closer even with Ozbot part of it. But let's paint their sidewall.
Ryan says, the origin of the word says it's because the foot is underneath the guts.
Okay, yeah, so I was close-ish.
Says, thank you, science teachers. He says, see on your shop page, some of your masks are made of white latex and some of flesh. Do you have a preference?
No, they're both the same kind of latex. Latex is an organic material, and if the picture was taken more than like a week or two after it was pulled from the mold, the latex actually gets a tan, and it picks up that fleshy orangey color. All the latex is the exact same. That is a change that happens to latex over time. And my preference is just the closest to natural latex that you can get.
Cat Swift says, so today's slug of the day gave a new line for the log. I thought I would punch him till the good guy came out. Those not on Patreon should join just to get his thoughts of the day.
Well,
I haven't even watched it. What
Well,
did you do?
all right. So the basis of it is that I was speaking with an assistant principal about a violent indiscretion that occurred that I may or may not have been involved in, and unfortunately, I upped my suspension from 2 days to a week because he said, "I'm sure deep down inside he's a nice guy." And I said I was going to punch him until that guy came out.
How old were you?
It was high school. I was a freshman, so it was ninth grade. I don't know how old ninth graders are.
Tell them about the Thought of the Day series that you do.
Well, yeah, it's just thoughts of the day. A lot of the times it's positive, but that one actually was like that's a weird part of a positive message. It's a little piece of it. So, but yeah, it's just a lot of people have said that I have a unique outlook. So thoughts of the day are me sharing my outlook and why I think that. Doesn't mean I'm right. Doesn't mean that you know I'm not selling anybody a certain way of thinking. Just here's how I think.
Monster Board Tutorials, hello.
Hello.
Awesome mask, Alan.
Why, thank you. I'm going to grab a color I don't have over here. Let's throw some blue on this guy.
Great
Yeah.
House says that she really appreciates the Thought of the Day.
Awesome.
Hey, Applique Creations.
Now, I tend to keep all of my paint in this type of bottle, which is just a restaurant squeeze bottle, you know.
Our Beauty's making pasty tomorrow.
Oh, love those.
Love those things. Mike Camacho, hello, good evening. Says, are there any updates on Monster Camp?
No, not yet. I mean, right now the world's still pretty crazy, and we have to wait for a little bit of the crazy to get sucked out of the world before we can schedule anything with certainty. We have events that I plan on going to in May and June and July, and all these events that are kind of planned right now, and I don't know if they're going to happen. So, and I'm tired of planning an event and having to kick that can down the road because, oh, well, let's just postpone it. Let's just delay it. I'm tired of it. I want to know I'll be able to have that event at that time. That's when I'll schedule it. It is distracting to see me in both cameras. I like that. Weird.
We are looking to, we're waiting in hopes that the numbers in Texas start to improve. Right now, a good number of people, if they were to come here, would have to quarantine after they leave. And Texas is very hot right now and not in a summer hot way. It's hot in a very bad way. So we are
so virusy.
we are a mess. And so it's not a good place for people to gather at the moment. But hopefully that will adjust and improve, and then we have plans for lots of things, for monster camps, for more labs, airbrush labs, and such. So just hanging tight and waiting, and as soon as we know that's going to be okay, it's on.
So what I'm doing right now, guys, is I'm putting on some blue in these crevices and lines. This looks like a walrus's butthole. I understand that. This does not look good. Okay, and I saw that it said something buckle. Paul Bennett, what I actually said was walrus butthole. It looks like a walrus's butthole because it does not look good right now. I'm counting on the brown wash to make this look good later. That may be the first time someone had to close caption the word walrus butthole. I'm not sure.
All right, Ike is in El Paso, so you get it. You know about how difficult it is. Our beauty pasty is one of my favorite things to make, and I love those things. Was raised on those, and I actually have 3 in the freezer right now, and we may just have one tomorrow.
Yeah.
Love pasty. Freaking delicious.
See, I'm not putting this on. I'm not really worried about this. There is a technique in miniature painting called dipping, where you paint big blocky colors and you dip it in this mix, and it kind of homogenizes everything. And I'm kind of treating this like a mini that I'm dipping. Dipping is not a great way to paint, but it's a modified antique method. I'm going to antique this, so these ought to blend out a little bit.
Stacy said it's only a program capturing it, so you're safe. And Kat says that thought of the day always gives pause to think. Really interesting. Laura Beauty says if we ever come to Michigan, she'll make us some pasties too.
Awesome.
Big batch too. And freeze them. That's what we do too. We just make a big batch and freeze them, and they are the best. Aquacade Creations. Alan, what kind of mask would you suggest for a dead steam train engineer?
Well, I'd probably just do some kind of a night zombie mask, but a classy zombie mask. You know, not heavy on gore, but one of your grayed out zombies. I think that would be nice. Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 7:56 p.m.
Okay, so I want you guys to see that this doesn't look good. Like, see, my lines are harsh. I mean, it's not, that's not like a clean, mellow transition. The transition is going to come from the brown wash that we put on. Okay, so bring up a photo. Alexa, turn on the air compressor.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to go to full Ozbot when I move away like that. I don't know. That's up to you. So I'm one of those weird people. I much prefer sweaters to hoodies. So this is a shop sweater I bought at a thrift store. And moments ago, I dropped the back. And I got a nice flesh colored back face print right here on my sweater. I only say that because I'm fat, and that means people will assume it's mustard. I don't know why, but that happens.
Robert Bryan says, I'm stressing some flannel shirts. Some of them are resisting, and I'm taking it personally.
Well, how are you distressing them? Wife, would you go to the the picture, do pick?
Brad Demon says, do you ever think of wearing an apron?
I've thought about one. I find it too restrictive. understand that I wouldn't wear pants on a regular basis if I didn't film myself so much. Like, yeah.
It's so true.
It is a shame that I'm not much more attractive because I have very little shame when it comes to my body. I should have a lot more shame. Let's be real.
Rob says he's distressing with razor blades, rasp, and a wire drill brush.
Well, flannels are like, they're made to be very resistant clothing. Like, they're lumberjack shirts. And lumberjacks, like, they got in the stuff. So, they are going to be a little bit resistant. You can also, though, go at them carefully and gingerly with a little bit of carburetor cleaner, and that will really weaken the fabric. I was able to get out today, and
Mimi says liking the new set.
awesome. Who said that?
Mimi. Mimi.
Thank
Jeremy
you.
Dempsey says hello and good evening. Happy to see a live show. Work keeps getting in the way.
My work keeps getting in the way too. Wait, this is my work.
Cat Swift says for those across the pond, I think he means trousers, not pants.
Are pants something else?
Knickers, like underpants. Knickers.
Yeah, I like to wear underpants because zippers have 72 metal teeth.
Yeah, but
So I'm a fan of underwear.
where's Scrappy UK when you need him?
Yeah.
Word for underpants in UK and trousers meaning pants. And we just-
Trues.
Truth, right?
Me trues.
So the different names for pants or skitties or whatever you want to call them.
Some alcohol that I'm putting on a rag to wipe off the paint I just put on. So I put it on heavier than I want it to be.
Mama Daza likes your sweater.
See how that homogenized it and that blue isn't near as strong as it was before? Let's go ahead and hit. You know what though? I think that's a little browner than I want. So I'm going to add alcohol into this bottle. I'm going to split this. There's too much ink.
Cat says pants or underpants? What we call pants or trousers. Hey, Anthony Pantano.
Hello, Anthony Pantano. I've just put something in that needs to be mixed. What? Suggest you go to tripod can.
Oh, I'm ready.
Proper mixing technique is a pork zombie snail. Top of the flask goes up against the palm of the hand. Your thumb holds it together. These two fingers come down, giving you a snail-like head. Zombie snail. Okay, let's go back to picture in picture.
And Queer Pass has got a little it's got a little snail icon. Whenever it comes on, it looks good. Me here have a Jonesy icon. So cute.
And I'm putting alcohol on this, just straight alcohol to get that off. The paint that I used before is water-based. So I put the alcohol on, and that's going to help me take off the alcohol-based ink that we just sprayed. One of the upsides to what I'm doing is I'm painting it in red redneck. I don't feel bad if his skin tone isn't even.
The Dutch Sully says I participated one time with a costume contest wearing only a handmade 17th century shirt.
Oh, it was a long shirt. Now you can see that those very drastic colors, they're being toned down. They're being homogenized a little bit by the stain that we're putting on. It kind of unifies everything together. Even those real like harsh lines that I put on, they're just blending in. You know, it's making it a lot smoother.
Eighty people are watching.
Hello, 80 people. So, honey, I guess I should ask you: is one eye on the one eye blank is on the site, right?
Yes.
Part of the reason for me pouring up all these blanks, actually for me making Rue pour up all these blanks, is that we want to get all that added to the website. It's actually kind of fun when somebody orders a blank we haven't poured up in a long time, or orders a mask we haven't done in a long time. Really nice. Okay.
Robert Dawson says so satisfying.
He looks a little bit right now like George Hamilton. He's very tan. And I want to knock that down a little bit more. I'm getting a clean paper towel to do that. I don't know if you guys have to see all the dogs I got to step over. Yeah, this is 99% alcohol. This will not affect the paint underneath, but it will affect the ink that we just put on there.
RBD says he's been spending some time vacay on the beach.
Now, I do think that Inbred Redneck is probably going to be outside quite a bit. I don't mind that.
Susan Hart. RBD is almost an LA team. Does look good.
And then you go back and you repop a couple things, like I got to re-hit the teeth with white. I've got to re-hit the eye up there. But the basis color, that's the basis of color. Pulled a little bit of blue into the white I was going to hit the eye with. I'm going to give this like a bluish white to make it kind of a dead eye. Now I have bluish white on my brush. Do the teeth. It's going to be whitish white.
What color was used in the washout?
That was inks, and the ink names were Burrow Brown and Sunshine Yellow.
Brad Dean says the eye looks more realistic now.
Yeah. And even if you look at like the chin where I blobbed on just like with a brush some of that magenta, that's an undertone, you know, and a little bit of blue, a little bit of that magenta color. Those actually really help the skin be just not this big flat plane of flesh.
Cat Swift asks, so as a mask, you can screen the open eye to see through? Will there be another hole, another slight hole?
Yeah, a little hole right here and a little hole right here is what I normally do for these guys. If you look at it, you can see that this eye is shifted over enough where you'll actually have good vision out of here and out of right here. Just those two little holes, because they're pretty close to your eye. And the closer a hole is to your eye, the better your vision is out of it. Think of a knot hole in a fence. If you're 2 feet away from the knot hole in the fence, you can't see very much. But if you are right up on it, you can see everything. And I mean everything.
Alan, what do you think if he had silver metallic teeth?
I think that would stray him a little bit away from redneck. He'd be like a supervillain at that point, I think. I think it wouldn't look bad. If I ever did like a Baba Yaga mask, I do those with iron teeth. Okay. So this guy is painted. I think I'm going to knock down his tan a little bit with my original flesh color and some white, and just do a little bit of a dry brush with that.
Paul Bennett says, if people rent your equipment for a wedding, how much would you charge them? Just opinions, few items like fogger, strobe lights, little lit pumpkins, skeletons, and tombstones.
Normally, rental prices are 1/3 the cost. So if a fogger costs you $600 to buy, you would rent it for $200 for a weekend. Because you don't want it to be half the cost, because then they're just going to be inspired to buy it. 1/3, many people find to be just the right amount of rip-offery. Tolerable. Rip-offery with tolerable parameters.
Drew says, you seem hyped up. You have black pepper before the show.
Well, all right. So Rue has just made a reference to our trip, okay? And the trip being all day on Thursday. Thursday, we drove to San Antonio and picked up a bunch of stuff from an auction. I almost told my wife about this today at lunch. We had the weirdest dining experience that I have had in many years. Because we had a waiter who did not quite understand what we were saying. We did not understand what he was saying, but he was very excited about a lot of things. Rue ordered a salad. He got a salad with his meal, and which I think is gross. But they went back and forth a little bit trying to figure out the dressing. And finally the waiter goes, house. And Rue goes, oh, okay, house. Yeah, that's fine. Because he asked for vinaigrette, and then they kind of went back and forth. We don't know what the waiter said. Like, at any point in time, do we know exactly what the waiter said? Language barrier. But Rue's salad comes to him, and the dressing is ketchup. He put ketchup on the salad as dressing.
What kind of restaurant was it?
Italian restaurant. Yes, ketchup.
Sure it wasn't a tomato vinaigrette?
It was ketchup, because Rue goes, that's ketchup. And then Ivan said, well, let me try it. And then so Ivan tried it. It was ketchup. Ketchup on.
Because sometimes Italian food restaurants have a very thick tomato dressing.
It looked like
tomato
ketchup.
Base.
Yeah, it was ketchup. So many other amusing things happened, but the highlight of which, to which Rue just referred, is the where I'm sitting, I can see like a bar. It's 15 feet away from us, and the waiter is opening up pepper packets, black pepper, and sprinkling them out on the counter, and then he snorted the black pepper off of the counter. Like him, like he went a little bit when he was done, and that was it. And then he did that. He did 2 lines of black pepper, about 3 or 4 packets each, and then brought us our checks, drink refills, and yeah, it was a very interesting. I'm not making this up because I have witnesses who were with me. It was weird. He wanted to argue with us over bread. It was a very weird experience.
Rob O'Brien, what about a milky, weird eye with a broken pupil drifting up to the left?
You know what? Those are so hard to get right. I normally don't try. And I know I'm copping out. But normally what I do is if I can, I leave it milky. I leave it this type of dead. That flavor of terrible is what I do.
Harvey says, where the hell were you?
We were in Seguin, Texas. Seguin. An Italian restaurant. It was the only restaurant that was open. We tried to go to so many places. I was starving because all I had was a breakfast sandwich from Buc-ee's at like 8:30 a.m. And this was 5 p.m. Okay, so I want to do a little bit of airbrush. What time is it? 8:15. We're good.
Realm says, so we went to our building and we were storing the Halloween stuff in. There's another one on the side of it. So Mom gave someone the keys and I need more room. So sorry, but I need to do another chat.
Do another what?
Another chat.
Okay.
Harvey said, you all in Texas are weird. That never happens here unless you piss someone off. That whole experience to me sounds very unpleasant.
It was weird. It was weirder than it was unpleasant. It was very surreal. I mean, to be fair, Rue did eat his whole salad with ketchup. But he was also starving because none of us had really eaten. Meaning zeal or bush.
Sorting black, excuse me, black pepper just for fun.
He did it out in the lobby, like he could have hidden it, but he was like out in the open. Okay.
Clarify, this was the waiter, not Rue.
The waiter snorted black pepper.
Oh, Rome says, she said they can have a one-on-one with putting Christmas in there and put, hey, Realms for Christmas got an hour of consultation with you.
Yes.
Wants to set up a chat.
Great. Awesome.
Hey, I speak Realms. Look at that.
There we go. Now that mouth looks a little, it's darker, it's better. Want this anywhere else? This is pretty dark compared to what I've got already. I think I'm good. Or, you know what, I'm gonna get rid of this.
Beth says, I'm loving the camera action. Fantastic job with the technology.
Why, thank you. And you know what? What I like about Ozbot is he actually is pretty good. When I'm cleaning the airbrush and stuff, and I think that picture's big enough. You don't need details of airbrush cleaning.
Brown said, and she said they could have that one. They were putting a Christmas tree in there, and they put a 16-foot tree in our building, and they crammed it in there, and if they broke anything, I'm going to be mad.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't like
tell them. Silly Christmas workers.
it. 78 people I watch.
Hey, wife, it's time for a little bit of story time.
What would you like a story about?
Well, that's going to be up to you. Maybe you can tell a road trip story since I just told a road trip story.
Well, tell a road trip story. How much time go ahead?
Well, 2 minutes. Go to phone cam.
No, first you gotta go to story time.
Oh, we'll go to story time, and then. But you're talking. Well, you're the one talking, so.
Story.
It's story time.
Story time. You guys get that? All right, so quick story time on road trips, which is actually very poignant to be doing that because this is if Transworld had not shifted over to May, we would actually be getting ready for Transworld right now, and that involves a road trip. Now Thursday, Alan and Rue and Ivan and Jake all headed to San Antonio for a day trip. I think they got back about 11 o'clock. They left here about 7 to get this enormous amount of stuff. Anytime we take a road trip, you go in the van. And I tell you that if any of you ever end up in a road trip with us, and I'm saying this because it's not out of the realms of possibility, simply because you never know. You come down here, if you come visit, if you come to Monster Camp, you're going to be in the van. If you come visit, you're probably going to be in the van and put to work. So there's always a chance for the van to be part of the day. The Dark Hour van is it's huge, and Alan has some recliners in the back that are basically car seats that recline very comfortable, which is very nice because when we go to Transworld, that's about a 15-16 hour drive, which we make in one day. Nothing compared to the trips we used to take, which was in Midwest Farm Convention in Ohio, which was a 24-hour nonstop trip, which we don't do that anymore. But we did it for 11 years in a row. So,
To do the show, we just stopped it.
we just stopped doing that. We're still doing Midwest Farmers Convention. We're just not driving around. That's crazy. So, anytime you're in a road trip with the Still Peace team, things to keep in mind. If you are riding shotgun, you cannot sleep. Person who rides shotgun must stay awake to keep the driver awake. Really, there's only a few people who drive the thing. But you must stay awake. If Alan is driving and you are shotgun, not only must you stay awake, but you also must be prepared at any time that his brain fires off, which is about every 2 minutes, to look something up on your phone because he cannot rest until he knows. So it can be anything. We'll ask you, what are the lyrics to that song in that movie with the monster and that thing? And you're going to have to figure it out because he cannot get off his phone and figure it out, but his brain will not rest till he knows. And Rue will back me up on this, that this is no joke. you have to find out so he will calm down, because while he's driving, he is without internet, without access to his brain.
My brain wanders.
Your brain wanders, but there is no rest. There's no peace in the van until he does. So usually, a trip to a show, we have at least 7 people in the maximum 7 people, I would say. Because we can also make a pallet in the back for someone to lay down, and so it's a very big van. So the still beef, or the dark hour van, is actually it's our van. Is you have to remember the biggest thing is that I forget the van is wrapped. So it's wrapped with this big, beautiful graphic. If you've ever seen picture of the van, it's completely wrapped with this beautiful dark hour witch and this beautiful, really colorful wrap. And so it's very visible. I forget that we are wrapped. So when people are driving up looking at us, like, what are you looking at? And I just forget. Probably one of my favorite memories of the day is one of the many times we have to stop and get gas and a pee break when we're on the road. And
I drink a lot of soda.
Alan drinks a lot of soda, which means we have to stop about every 45 minutes. He has to pee.
It's like every hour and a half.
It's not true. Rue backed me up on this. So he's always had to stop because he drinks these enormous amounts of soda and water and tea and but the van will pull up at a truck stop. It has clearance because it's a 9-foot van, 9'2", and we have to have clearance. So usually it's truck stop. First of all, the van stops traffic. Everybody looks at it as such a showstopper. But then there was one night where we're coming back from Transworld, and we stopped the van. It's about 2 in the morning. It is a very active truck stop. Those truck stops never sleep. And side door opens up, and out comes Ed Gannon. If you know Ed, Ed's always very nattily dressed. He's very, he always wears a shirt,
Vest, tie. Yeah.
a tie for a road trip. So out pops Ed. Out pops Ivan. His big chops and his bald, really tough looking guy. Out comes Ivan. Out comes Rue with all of his tattoos. Out comes Laura. Laura is our little person. I'll tell you, he does this. 3 feet tall. Out comes Alan looking kind of rough. So if you can imagine the door opening. First of all, the van stopped on traffic. Different people who came out of that van and were just walking towards the truck stop. Everybody just starts flying. It's a very strange, like, strangest looking crew you ever saw. And you get.
And they assume we're in a band.
They thought we were.
They always ask if we're in a band.
They thought we were a rock band. And so, of course, they didn't take our answer. So anyway, anytime that we road trip, we will back make fun of this. It's an adventure in itself. We had adventure, going to adventures. Next time on our road trip, we're going to have to do some live stuff. So it's fun. Here we go.
Okay. So I now have
the band of Misfit. That's right.
I now have Burrow Brown in here.
Bruce says every half hour we have to stop.
There's one. This is going to further homogenize. This is going to further give you some shadow work.
Thank you, IT Monster. That's my jacket. Chico says if you back the audio bit on the captioning will work a whole heap better.
If what?
Ezekiel says if you back the audio gate a little bit off the captioning will work a whole heap better.
But doesn't that mean that you guys won't hear me as well?
Stacey said, we're cool enough to be in a van. Hilarious, it's like a circus. You're right, no. That's what it was like. It was like a shrine car for a clown. Rob says, how do you get all of your rolling racks to trade show?
I roll them into a trailer and then I roll them into the trade show.
So yeah, Rob, we pull a trailer behind the van. We have a trailer, and it is now too small. It's about everything we need. So we're going to have to upgrade our trailer and get something bigger. Nowhere near as big as now. The van is called Creepers. Chill Beastie, followed by Snorty Pepper. Road trips, man. They are fun.
I'll tell you guys something about this last road trip that I just did on Thursday. It was just nice to be in a car with 3 other guys, and we talked for 4 hours there, and 4 hours, 5 hours there, and 5 hours back. We just talked, and normally I'm working. That's my normal state. So even driving, it's less work. And it was just nice to chat about stuff. We talked old haunted house stories. It was a good time.
Bruce says, check your trailer chains, by the way.
Okay.
Ezekiel says, we'll hear better. The gate is just a bit strong. It's not letting enough ambiance in. Slide adjustment.
I don't know what the gate is.
Yeah.
So I have a button. I mean, I have a dial. Is he saying gate or gain?
Gate.
Because I have a dial right here on this, and I think that's a volume because it has the lights, and it says, you know what, I bet I could probably turn, and we have so many levels that we have to worry about, and this is righty loudy, lefty quiety, but the mic is upside down, so it's righty loudy, lefty quiety. All right, and I'm going to keep talking, and I'm right under the microphone now, and it is a little bit hot, and I'm going to keep talking, and I know that I've been told you want just that first yellow light to blink. That's where it is, and so that did change it a little bit. I turned whatever that dial is down.
Okay. See if that works.
And tell me how we did. I know for a second it went out because it does that when you bumps it.
Right, it even says those big containment tubes you got at auction. What was their original purpose?
It was an event company. So they were meant to be something visual. Event companies use things like baffles and just big props like that. And they put lights inside of them. It was just something to light up and make a space look cool. Once we go to PIP again, I'll continue the airbrushing.
That says, watch out for the bars that run across the inside at the top of the band. They will rip your scalp. We found out firsthand during Monster Camp 7.
Yes, we always say watch the bar, and then someone always bangs their head on the bar.
Stacy says it's a rites of passage, cracking your head on the band supports.
That's right.
Ruth says it's way too quiet, far away. Ray Mitchell says, yeah, too quiet. So, we need to increase the volume, guys?
Well, we don't know when they're talking about. I think that you are very far from the microphone, and I don't think you should sit that far away again.
Okay.
In the future, let's get you a lot closer. Yeah, we'll just get you closer because you're just too far away.
That's fine. But you already have me. Father Dawson says, I miss road trips. Ray Mitchell says, I think you're talking about a noise gate that requires a strong signal to open the audio. I'm not sure that will help in this case.
I would like to avoid audio debates and tech debates while we are live.
Okay.
Because I cannot take your information and use it right now effectively. So if you have strong feelings, please send me an email.
Beth says, I only did it once, and that was enough.
Well, Rue has done it way more than once. All right, gang. So I'm calling this guy Painted for Mail. And when I go to glossing the Man Bat mask, we will figure that out. But it is so wet out here that I actually have to dry this guy still. He's still wet behind the ears. Not just an expression. Okay, so it seems like no, you guys still cannot hear the heat gun. No, weird.
Lisa says she hopes that this gets some purple tones.
Purple. I have not planned on doing any purple, but I will just for you. All right. That is what I call drying up. Purple, you say? Brushes are pretty long and floppy. You can cut off about a third of an inch from them, and then they're much more controllable.
Did you plan to go live at Transworld? Not for the 3 hour, but maybe 20 minutes.
I have to make sure I have permission to do it, but I'm not opposed to it, you know. There actually is a no cameras rule at Transworld. Now, do a lot of people break it? Yes. But there is a rule of no cameras. A lot of people are showing new product there that no one's seen before, and they don't want it to get out. And originally, before the days of social media and whatnot, you had no idea what people saw at Transworld. You know, it was very much a secret. Now, this is the mask that I recently did in a. It was black and red and white. Those were the only colors that I used. I was real happy about that. Everywhere I'm doing this purple was red, skin was jet black.
King says hello. Lisa says, I'm surprised to hear about no cameras. There's so many YouTube walkthroughs each year.
Yep. Yes, there are. But you're not supposed to be able to take pictures, let alone video.
Pat says, I would visit, but sadly, it's not possible to fly.
Well, take a boat. They have cross-Pacific cruises or Atlantic cruises. too close. That feels pretty good. Go in with some, I'm gonna add some black to magenta. Do another dark color just to go to these cheeks instead.
Speaking of filming, any thoughts about filming in haunts with permission, of course?
I mean, my thoughts, I mean, filming in haunts is cool. It's very difficult because you're either gonna light it unnaturally with lights in order to see, and it's not gonna look good, or it's gonna be really dark and the video's not gonna be good. So it's actually, I think it's pretty hard to get good haunted house video. I don't know what you were asking. My thoughts on filming in a haunted house. Great. Do it. I want to see more haunted house footage. That may not be what you're asking. You want like tech tips? I am not the guy.
Hey guys, I don't know if the audio, you're having an audio problem, or if at the moment nothing is being said and it's just very quiet. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's been clipped out. So I'm just going to keep talking for a second, and you guys tell me if you can hear me while Alan is working. And Alan, if you got something to say, please do. I'm getting messages here that the audio is clipped out, but at the time it was clipping out, I think that was just.
I wasn't saying
We
anything.
were quiet, you were working, I
Yeah.
was not reading comments because the comments were about tech things, and we're gonna
Right.
skip those for right now. So if you can hear me, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, please let me know what you can hear. Now they're saying, I think it was just quiet for a second.
Yeah, I was
So
just being
think
quiet.
You guys were here.
I'm
But the audio
concentrating.
is doing fine.
Yeah, I'm concentrating. That makes it a little quiet sometimes. But if you guys comment questions and stuff, then she'll ask me and I'll answer.
Good, we're good. Thanks, guys.
But I mean, honestly, if you guys, if we're talking tech stuff, I can't,
No,
because I don't
we're
know where you are in the video, so that the information that I'm getting from you, I
Sounds-
might hit a button to fix it, and you say no, then fix it,
It sounds like we're good together.
but you're 45 seconds late. So I don't want her reading tech stuff to me because I can't act on it right now. But here's where the purple O is happening. And I'm gonna do shading now with the brown again. Unfortunately, I knocked my airbrush over and poured my most of my brown onto the ground. We got a better airbrush holder.
It's a bat mask.
Yes, it is. So there are times when you might have two bottles with the caps off. And the answer, which cap do I put on first? You put on the cap of the more expensive bottle. If you tip one over, you want to lose the least amount of money. I want to check something right quick. Osbach, follow me. Sadly, my airbrush is not magnetic. What? I threw a magnet to stick on the wall.
Hey, Michael Lester. Kalisha F thinks it's a demon pig.
It'll be a bat. Once there's hair on it, it's a bat.
Dutch Scully. Thanks for tuning in.
Good night. Who's leaving?
Dutch Scully.
Bye, Dutch.
Chainsaw Panic says, I was trying to say I subscribed the second time on my other account, and now you have 2 subscribes for me. Thank you.
Hooray.
Alan has been enjoying the Follow Me Kim. I see you smile in the past, you play Follow Me, and it can keep up. Like Kim.
Yeah, it's fun.
Hey, Gregory.
Who?
I like Gregory Haynes. I like the mask. I've never seen the eyebrow ridge carried up through the ear like that.
Well, it's a bat, so this kind of made sense. The way the structure is done, works for me. Again, I'm using the brown to kind of homogenize and look at that ear that is not smoothed out by brown, and this ear is. It just looks a lot more finished and professional.
Lady at Next Makeup says hello.
Hello.
Stay tuned, Car Care says, every time I see anything with a bat or a shark, I think of Batman. Robin, get me the bat shark for cover. He says, it's well done mask and just make one out of our minds. Tell him. Thank you.
I'm glad you enjoy it. This is one of my favorites. I really like this man. Alright, so I'm going to go in here and pop these gums with some red.
Did you create the texture under the eyes with an extruder?
I did. I extruded clay into ropes, and I twisted those little ropes, and that is how I did that. Yes, yes.
Any suggestions on how to make a forest scene enchanted? I was thinking of somehow decorating with black light paint.
Well, so I think one of the best ways to do that is the movie Legend. They had all these spindly trees, and you use those spindly trees, you paint them all black so they're solid black, and then you sprinkle some glitter on them, and then they just catch light enough, and it's a real good look. So if you want something enchanted, I think a little bit of glitter, a little bit of light shine is not a bad way to do that. Glitter, lights. This guy is going to get really bloody now. I got some.
Hey, Almatra.
Almatra R.
Dun, dun, dun.
You just seem to paint so good.
So good. So good. So good. Babadaza says, I've been wanting to rewatch that. Is it on any of the streaming services? Legend? I don't know. I haven't seen it. Al says, cool picture in picture greatness.
Well, I thought that this would be a good view, so I've been working for a while to figure out how to do this. I think this is the way. This is the way. You just have to say something after you said this is the way. This is the way to do it. This is the way we get things done. This is the way to the restroom. But now you can just say, this is the way. Thanks to the Mandalorian.
Bloody FX says, love that, definitely will be glittering the trees. Thanks.
We're about to do the same thing, but we're going to opposite that because we're going to paint it white because we're doing a birch forest, a birch tree forest.
The king liked your song.
Is there a way to get Al Matra's art, like a link in the comments? Do we have a link for Al Matra's art, which is wonderful?
Al, you got a website?
If you send it to Scott Colhart, who I think is on, then we will be able to. He'll be able to post a link. I would love for folks to be able to see your stuff. What is wonderful about this community that we have here is that it's not just my art. We have a lot of awesome artists on,
Thanks, Stacy. Stacy's got it.
from other mask makers to, you know, I want to grab a special tool. And yes, after I say that sentence, if Brew were in the shop, I would walk over and grab his arm. But he is not in the shop. I've got to do something else. This is a red pen. I'm going to try a little something, something. All right, so
Yes, the king. Stacy reads comments on Monday and Wednesday nights when it is a regular crew night. So you have heard her many times on those nights. She is in with the shotgun.
if the comment reader is laughing a lot, it's Stacy. Stacy is also known by the title of Suggestion Harpy because she often suggests things for me to do. Still beast. Honey, do you see any glasses of mine around? I really should have glasses for this.
You should.
All right, I'm gonna find some glasses. Got all comfy. I got the camera set up. Why don't you re-story time and I'll run to the house and grab some glasses? No, I can go to the van and grab some glasses. They're right here.
Okay, if you're gonna go to the van, I'm gonna go to the phone and you can hit the phone.
Okay. Okay, well, would you hold the door open?
Yep.
I'll barely be able to hear it.
Just for you guys. Just for you. What was I thinking when I bought that for him? So thinking. Madness. Yes. Peach glasses? Oh, you can barely hear it, really? I thought you guys would be able to hear it a little bit better, especially since it's on the phone. That's cool. It's all right, guys. Hang tight, Browns. I'll get you you read here in just a second. This is where I lovingly tell him that there is about 5 pair of glasses on the kitchen counter. He doesn't have any in here. That's awesome. The king, no, the van is not painted flames. Is what is like yeah, Anthony, it's letting the heat out. It's cold outside tonight. We're in the and we've got some big weather coming for Texas. It's going to get down in the teens here in a couple of days. So yeah, it's chilly and sharp.
Hey,
Okay.
wife, go to phone cam. And I want you to talk a little bit.
On the van is one of the witches from Dark Hour, and one of the witches, actually, it's one of our friends, Laura, who I've told you about as a little
Keep
person.
looking at comments because we have to make sure that we're not getting echo.
Laura is, like I said, she's a little person. She played the Irish witch, Shannon McKenna, and she was awesome. Tiny little leprechaun style witch, but she was all kinds
That's
of
good. I want to see if they heard the microphone from the phone camera, because I just turned that up halfway.
echo. Echo, 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 echo.
Okay, I tried to help.
Test, test, test. 1, 2, 3. Test, 1, 2, 3. Test, test.
Okay, why don't you go ahead and talk now?
Okay, so tell me how we're sounding now. Are we still echoing? Because I was telling you about the
And
on the van.
you have to type the word potato and then echo or no echo. Potato or echo and no echo. That way I know it's before or after I made this change.
Better, good, better, good, good. Now it's good.
Okay, so now the phone camera has its own microphone and it's not using the Yeti.
I think this is it's great. So are we sounding good, guys? Any echo? Potato, no echo. Potato, no echo.
Perfect. Now go back to PIP.
So I don't know why me turning down the Yeti on the other scene changed this scene, but now we should have plenty of sound.
Test, test, test. 1, 2, 3. Test, test, test. 1, 2, 3.
You have to say pineapple, good or not good. We have to give them a code word so we know when they're saying it.
You're good.
Okay. I'll have to watch it when we change to a scene we haven't used in a while because, yeah, this is not the easiest thing. There's like lots of different scene setups. See what I'm doing there with the veins on the nose? I think that's fun. And it's just far easier to do them with this little red pen. You know, just look nice.
It's 9 o'clock. 80 people are watching.
So you don't have to go everything airbrush, everything brush. I mean, I'm bringing in pen, you know, because this is going to get me that nice fine line over and over again. I want for these little tiny capillary veins. If I was trying to do this with an airbrush, I'd drive myself a little crazy. If I had a blue pen, I might go back and I might do other more lines of blue. I might have one over there. Alexa, add blue pens to my shopping list.
Bloody FX says, I was thinking of using the Krampus flakes for our death berries in our enchanted forest. Cool.
Death berries. Alexa, stop. He said fairies?
Berries.
Oh, I heard berries. That's my fault. I didn't know what a death berry was. Yeah, I think, you know what? A nice berry mask would be a good thing to do. I get a lot of people ask me what to make for you know, product or whatever. I always say masks for women. I might end up trying to sculpt a fairy. We'll see how that do.
Oh, Grappy UK, good morning.
Hey, Grappy. Okay, so that's where I'm at on him. I'm gonna hit his teeth again with another color. Am I still in VIP? With the glasses, I can see well up close, but not far away at all.
Just picked up some little tiny bells at Goodwill for my tiny Krampus, said Brian D.
That's awesome. Tiny bell. Tiny bell.
Scarecrow 77 says, nice Batman.
Man, back. Thank you very much. So now I actually think that I want to go in. Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 9:03 p.m.
Oh, I got time. I think I missed a couple I'm missing some of the red tones that I've seen in this mask before when I have done it. So I want to go in with some red, and you know what? I'm just going to add red to this brown that I've got in here already and do some reddish brown shading. That'll be nice.
He says, Alan, if COVID is gone for this October, would you like to come to Los Angeles so I can have you come through my haunted house and just, you can bring friends from the studio or your family. I'm just asking.
While I would love that, also run a haunted house in October. So I'm a pretty busy man. So I probably would not be able to make it in October. I get to see haunts when Transworld does the Legendary Haunt Tour. And that's pretty much the main time I get to see them. Hey, wife, can you switch to phone cam for just like a minute and tell them about something cool?
Something cool. Got me?
And you have audio, so we're good. Wait, they said echo, didn't they?
Something cool, something cool.
That's going to be echo, and now I fixed the echo.
Is the echo good? I'm going to keep talking for a minute, and you guys tell me how
Say
I
the word,
sound.
say a word, tell you.
Pineapple,
There you go.
pineapple, pineapple. Say pineapple.
Otherwise, you don't know when they're giving you info from.
says echo, echo, echo.
Right, they're not saying pineapple.
Waiting on pineapple. So when you guys say pineapple, then I can time it. So give me a pineapple, you guys, so I can time this. Thank you, Stacy. Okay, pineapple good. Thanks, guys. This is the craziest way we're communicating. We have code words that are helping us time a live feed chat during a live stream from all over the world. And this is how we are learning to use this year. That's funny. Good deal. Thanks, guys. Thank you. That does make that a little bit easier. Very cool. So a real quick thing from if you were watching last night and I was talking about the fire cider that I made and then I'm pouring down Alan every night. I'm going to post that on the Creepers page, and I've got some funny stuff with that to share. And he hates it, and he's drinking it just like a little bird. Pour it right down him, and it would be amusing. You will like it. So watch for that to be posted here shortly. Okay, I'm going to.
Test, test.
Okay. All right. I tell you what. Go to phone cam, honey.
So now we're doing the
All right.
phone camera.
Guys, stay with us. We're going to work some stuff out here.
Yeah, real
just
quick.
Stay with me. Stay with me. Okay, no audio, no audio.
That's old. They're behind.
They're behind. Okay. So now we are on phone cam.
Yes.
Stacy's playing hold music.
Okay.
Thanks, Stacy. Girl from Ipanema. Sound is back.
Yes. So now you have sound for. This is sound for the phone camera. I need to type the word grape. Grape. Yes sound or no sound.
Phone cam can hear you.
Grape. Yes. Yes or no for sound. Grape.
Great. Yes or no for sound. So they can hear you because they're saying great.
Okay. Wonderful.
Much better. Great. Yes, sound. Now, if I go back to Ozbot or I go back to Pip,
Go to Pip.
okay? Sound check.
Okay, so we're at Pip. Yes. So I've removed the Yeti, so you don't have to do any of that bouncing around anymore.
Sound.
I removed Yeti from phone cam. So whenever we go to the phone camera, it'll have its own sound. It's using its sound, and we're not using the Yeti.
Pip has low sound.
Pip has low sound. I guess I can just turn it up a little bit.
Yep, just a little bump. Good. Thanks,
Okay.
guys. Sound is sound but low volume.
All right. So I was a little further away.
Okay.
Now I'm a little closer, so it should be better.
How we doing, guys? Is it sounding good? It says yes, sound for Pip. Very good. Sound after phone cam is much lower in volume. Good. Very low.
Yes, but it's fixed.
As you guys get closer, we start to come through, and you're going to hear us a little better. Thank you for helping with the good things. You're learning how it works. Maybe 3 people are watching. Beth, thank you.
Why are we thanking Beth?
She said very even. It sounded good now. Thanks for the feed.
Okay, So now I have a red with a little bit of brown in it. Come a little bit closer now. I don't know any more words for that.
Hello, Celeste Kitty. Tim says the mask is looking good.
Thanks. It does seem like every time I work on a tech problem and I fix a tech problem, it kind of causes a tech problem somewhere else. It's very much a learning process for me, and I appreciate all of your patience. But I also understand that audio input is probably 70% of what most people get out of YouTube, and the visuals about 30%. We're trying to improve both.
Now, is this mask a dark hour or a commission?
None of these masks that okay, very few of these masks that I'm doing are going to be commissions. Mostly this is all of this mask painting that I'm doing. I'm going to take them to Trans World or sell them right after. But I wanted to up subscribers on this channel. So I'm doing the classic bait and switch of I'm doing 10 days in a row of just mask painting. And then I'll be back to doing mask painting like, twice a week, because I do a lot of mask painting, but I think that's people's favorite thing. So I'm trying to give folks their favorite thing right now in regards to painting masks. So what I'm saying is this mask will be for sale when it's finished. What? Let's go crazy. Make that real dark red right there. There we go. I like that. I think that's feeling pretty good. Get both of these guys over here and let's work on their gloss stuff.
King says, I love the DIY videos.
Well, those are Wednesdays. Those are on a different channel, actually. That is Still Piece Studios, and this is Still Piece Live. So the DIY videos, of course, still happen, but they are happening on Still Piece Studios.
We learn as we go, and it's totally understandable. I love the fact that you are learning, used to how to use technology. And I know it's not easy, but you're doing an amazing job. That is from the King.
Thanks, buddy.
Brad says, Alan, if you ever want to do a test audio, maybe you could do a Patreon hidden video, and I'll be a guinea pig. I See Monster says, Alan, I have a hairbrush question. I haven't used it for a while, but I used to use model paint, and it worked okay, but it took a lot. Can it be diluted with alcohol?
Model paint normally needs paint thinner. It all depends on what kind of model paint. Normally you need like a lacquer thinner or a paint thinner for model paint, and that harsh chemical normally isn't too good for the latex. So, and also that doesn't stretch. But can you dilute modeling paint? Yes, you can dilute model paint. You have to know what kind it is in order to know what to dilute it with.
What made you choose a flesh coloring, if you don't mind me asking?
For which mask?
Which mask, Scarecrow? Hey, Body Geeks.
Okay, yeah, so I want to do a little bit of glossing, and I think I'm going to go ahead and mix up some 5-minute epoxy.
The Man Bat. Why did you use flesh coloring?
Because it is not uncommon at all for me to do whole costumes for that Man-Bat mask. And it's easier to costume it if it's okay for a little bit of flesh to show. So it all depends on how you're going to costume it. But I like flesh-toned werewolves and I like flesh-toned Man-Bat because they're normally flesh colored. They have skin. It has the people skin, in my experience.
Lacquer paint, I believe, not used on latex. It's on batting and fur. This Icy Monster's talking about.
Then I would probably go with a lacquer thinner. You can thin it and dilute it. Now it's going to, of course, hurt your transparency a little bit. You're going to be more transparent than you normally were. Hey, love, can you reach the acid brush drawer from where you are? An acid brush has a metal tube for a handle. Brushes, yep. It's a brush that has a metal tube for a handle. It's like steel color. Yeah, one of those. It'll get open eventually. Thanks. Okay. So now, I have the 5-minute epoxy, and I'm going to mix that up.
You working on Man Bat right now or One Eye?
Yes.
Okay, so in your picture-in-picture, as you can see, I cannot see all of One Eye.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So covers it up just a little bit. Bloody effects. What color lighting would you use for a trigger scare in a black light hunt?
I would probably go with a strong white light because it's going to let them see whatever you're trying to use, like a strobe. It's going to let them see whatever it is you want them to see, but it's also going to blind their receptors a little bit. I would certainly not use red because red doesn't affect at all their night vision. Red won't hurt their night vision. And I would use a white light so that you can affect their night vision. Ah, why are you looking at me? Don't make it weird. Keep moving this around, thinking that I can move this where. Classic situation of there's a speck of dirt on the screen, you think it's a period or whatever, but as you move the document behind it, it stays in place.
Cat says, I think I see a shop monkey Roo job in the near future. Move brushes to paint side of shop.
Well, eventually, I do want to have that whole, that's my painting unit is over there, but I never paint over there. It's in a corner. I thought I would because it's right by a window, so I have natural light, but I'm always painting at night. This is 5-minute epoxy that I'm putting on One Eye's eye over here. It'll be a little bit of a weeper. And we'll do it on his teeth. Hit that lip too. And now that's teeth, get it?
Stacy says whenever the brushes move, you'll still walk to that old spot for a little while.
You are right. There we go. So now the back and one eye. Oh, you know what? There's a drip coming out of One Eye's eye. And I'm leaving it. Looks lovely. That little drip down that's happening. That's 5-minute epoxy. Should be ready to go in about 5-6 minutes.
Rob O'Brien says muscle memory is a heck of a thing. Scarecrow says, so the epoxy acts like a glossifier.
Yes, yes, it is very glossy. It is an excellent glossifier, but it's also it's firm. It's a kind of a protector too.
Alan, you seem to have a lot of spray cans like you were a graffiti artist.
I have a lot of spray cans like I'm a regular artist. Spray paint is an easy way to do paint and handle paint stuff, so that is why I use it quite a bit.
What is the camera system you're using?
Well, there are cameras. I have an Osmod camera, but OBS Studio is what allows all of this to happen. OBS is a streaming program, which is free. Okay, and our time is 9:22, so I'm going to go ahead and put some hair on One Eye. And let's hair One Eye. I'm going to call the bat paint job done. I will hair him later, the bat. Because he's going to get a full cowl of hair. But One Eye is going to get some hair here.
Says, do we have a bat cowl pattern already?
Yep. Yeah, from a few years ago, but it's still the same pattern. Hang it on the tripod. And I have to grab the caulking gun. You know what? While I grab the caulking gun, why don't you switch us to the phone cam?
Okay, so this is our first true remote test of the phone cam, which no longer has the Yeti mic, so we shouldn't have any echoing. There we go. That's like the old days, creaky stands and all. So the back of the door, I've got a shoe holder That's where I keep my cults. The only danger is this room is not as AC controlled, climate controlled, I should say. So these could possibly freeze. Not super likely, but it's possible. Did it? Yes. Okay, so while we're in here, oh, you guys want to see me stick my finger in the baby? Maybe you do. This is the baby mold that we were talking about. This is the baby's head, and I poured up with an experimental material to see if it's still sticky. Yes, see what just happened? But it's less sticky. It's getting less sticky. I think that eventually this will be okay. Now, it is technically an adhesive, so it's like really sticking to the mold too. What I want to do is I'm going to fill this up with plaster. It's a good sound. I'm going to fill this up with plaster, and that should suck the moisture out of it and keep that from being sticky. Maybe we can salvage the mold and get that out. Or the experiment was a failure and it's not going to work, which could also happen. Poured up, we have a this is a fish monster back piece with the fin going down the back, and we have a war piggin, and we have this is actually the LED ghost, and set to pour up is the LED witch and Heptaron. Any sound complaints while I was in the other room? Okay, good.
No. Have a question. The king asks, the molds that are on their canvas, are they from someone
They're hotspot.
specific?
No, that's not a 50-50 mix. That's the original straight. That is straight. That's not a 50-50 mix.
Weren't you thinking of using that mix for large scale cobwebs?
Yes, that is possible.
Bloody effects. I am new to designing haunts. I don't know how to do a forest hallway without using mirrors or black walls. I'm going to use quick tube trees.
Okay. That sounds like you're on the right track. What you have to do is the impression of trees. Not necessarily, they don't have to necessarily all be trees. So when you build your, I'm showing it in my hands. When you build, did I just make it stop following me? Yes, I did. When you build your hallway, you might want to set up something that makes the shadows of more trees. Use shadows. Shadows will help you immensely in making it look deeper and like there's more trees. Because you can make like a mini tiny forest and shine an LED through it, and then it makes the shadow of big trees. Don't forget to use shadows.
For the VIP.
Yeah, go to pick. So this isn't officially like, we're not painting a mask right now, but we're finishing a mask. Painting and finishing. We're just going to get this guy all the way done tonight. this is going to help blend this mask hair into the back of the head. Hopefully the actor will have also some kind of brown hair. But in a haunt, that's not going to be a big deal. Outside of a haunt, you probably wouldn't go with the latex half mask anyway.
That's what the king says. He's a ginger.
It is an auburn, let's call it. I think auburn-haired people get upset when you call them gingers.
Is that true?
Or they say that they have red hair when they don't.
Hero says mutton chops.
Yeah, I'm not going to quite do mutton chops. This should read as just a little bit of excess hair.
That's Chucky hair. Body Geek said, I just heard that spam is sliced, processed alien meat. Okay, Body Geek, thanks.
Okay.
Kat says, is this going to make it harder for Rude to strap them?
No, they should already be strapped when you paint them. Strapping is something that happens before. This is already strapped. There's 2 straps on this already.
Jones, no. Jones has got a mouse. No.
Okay. Your job's to entertain folks.
Trying to grab a cat. The dog. Jones, no.
Put them outside. Mouth okay?
Didn't have a mouse left in between Frank's side feet.
Okay. Let's get Jones out of here. Don't move that yet. Let's leave the mouse. See?
Oh,
Don't
shit.
move that.
Sorry.
Grab the mouse. Okay. Go outside.
I got the mouse. Come on, excuse me, guys.
Hang on.
This is my life. Poor little mouse.
One second.
The mouse is alive.
Oh, sorry guys.
Welcome to our life.
Yeah. Once.
He was so cute.
So the tactic is once they hide, don't move that thing so they stay
Trying to.
there. Shannon is holding a cat with one hand, the dog with one hand. He goes, I think he went between Frankenstein's legs, and he's under a bag.
My intentions
And-
were awesome.
And she lifts the bag, and then, of course, the mouse runs, and the cat jumps right on him. Mouse is fine. The mouse is outside.
Oh, he was adorable. I caught the mouse.
Yes, the mouse is fine.
Fortunately, I'm not afraid of mice and rats, or snakes and lizards, so I have no problem grabbing them. I also couldn't tell whether or not the poor little guy was alive or not. He was very much alive. And
And
adorable.
pissed.
So cute. Okay.
All right.
Sorry, Jones.
So I know what comment's going to be about for a while.
Jones is so mad at me. Okay.
Let's go ahead and give them a Jonesy square because we just had some hot Jonesy action. Brought in a mess.
Woo! Okay. Let's see, I'm gonna do a tripod. Here's our friend Joan. He brought me a mouse.
And to bring it in.
Mr. Jingles made it, yes. Okay. Jones snagged a mousey. Hopefully Jones will give it up. My dog guards for fine. Get the mouse. No worries. Good job, Jones. Fantastic cat. So exciting. Dogs and Mouse, what a great movie. Great Mouse Rescue 2021. Stacy says, this is the life of the rural house cat. Pound for pound, the most effective puncher there is. What's he supposed to do? What a great mouser. Oh my gosh, I thought I was the only one who rescued mice from cats. No, no.
Yes.
We
Now,
rescue everything.
I don't like mice like in my shop. I don't want any mice in the shop. So I love the cats being in here. I love them catching mice. I try to relocate them much further away when they get caught. But we were live, so I just wanted to get it done.
And Jones was bringing that mouse in here to show off.
Right.
He
He just wanted you guys to know that he was an efficient hunter.
If we were in the house, he'd have brought it in the house to show off. Last night it was a bird.
Yes.
So tonight it was a mouse. We caught the mouse, and the mouse is alive. So thankfully all is well.
Yes. I spent half an hour last night dealing with a very angry bird.
About 1 a.m. Let's see. Rebecca Hudson. That's why I love you guys. Yay, mouse. Bracky says, brilliant. Cat says, when I lived in the country, my cats would bring me mice all the time. Never did. They just wanted to get me. Kept a special box by the door just for the cats. Yep. They and we thank Jones. He's mad at me, but yeah, save the mouse. I can't. I don't want you to
Hello,
do it.
Jones.
Jonesy, Mr. Jingles made it. Jonesy. Baba Daz says, but now I only have one aloof blind cat, and I have mice for the first time ever. Never really understood how much work my cats did. Body Geek says, I was in Whataburger once, and a mouse ran across the kitchen floor and scared all the girls working there. I yelled out in the restaurant, so that's what is animal to catch. Well done, Dr. Jones. I'm terrified of mice. My dog caught one in the vase last week. The joy of former field house life. Harvey says, all I can do is picture Jonesy swaying to Daytime Believer. Buddy FX, are bells scary? Like, what about SIF with bells in the Enchanted Forest?
Okay, so bells are no longer scary to people. That's not a noise that scares people. If you look at some historical stuff, bells scared fairies away, but they weren't necessarily scary to people.
Scarecrow says, the Tom and Jerry movie. All I can do is picture Joey's. Oh, God, I didn't do that one. Was the bird alive? Yes, the bird was very much alive.
Oh yeah, he was flying around the pantry.
Very much alive. This is 1 a.m. last night. We still don't know exactly which cat brought in the bird, but they bring the live catch into the house and let it go to show off. So we've had our cats have brought in mice, rats, snakes, lizards, every kind of bird you can possibly think of, and
To be fair,
rabbits,
they also bring in very, very dead animals.
possums. Gosh, they brought all these things in the house. So, Stacy, highlights from tonight's feed: walrus butthole, snorting pepper, fruit salad code, words, an attempted mouse murder, and emergency rescue.
Yeah, that's average night, right? Come for the mask painting.
Stay for the
Stay for the
wildlife
walrus butthole.
adventures.
Or that. Your answer is probably better.
Am I forgiven? Okay.
If you go to phone cam, they'll be able to hear you.
I'm forgiven. Thank you, buddy. Thank you for bringing me a mouse. You're such a
People off the street could use some livening up.
you're such a good boy.
He's like, that's boring.
Thank you for bringing me a mouse. I appreciate that, mousy. And I did
Then you go back to
set him
tripod
free.
Okay. I've tried live tracking them before, tried closing the place. They came in, they came back. Just keep live tracking. Oh, Babadada, it really is a cat's forte to catch mouse. I would never use sticky traps. They're so cruel. But you know, it's a mouse, and so a lot of people do that. I would try a live trap.
When
I don't have the heart to sticky trap anything.
so the first year that I was here, that we were here, we actually had this shop was unused for many years before I moved into it, and it had rats. And the cats helped clear that up over time as I just let them be in and whatnot. But yeah, it took a bit for there to one night during a live feed, we're live. A rat comes in and climbs up this pipe and goes up into the ceiling.
In front of everybody.
Yeah, on a live feed. I just moved into my house in the country, so that's you have to handle that sometimes.
When we first moved here, I mean, there's a lot of the property that just hasn't even been touched. So we started stirring up a lot of things. And when we did, we stirred up,
We stirred up lots of rats, lots of mice, and for a while the owls were just gorging. Had so many. It's not quite as many anymore because we've been here now for 3 years and we have 4 cats. But we still get once in a while, they'll bring in a mouse or a rat, and that mouse and rat is very much alive. And they're bringing it in to show off. Look what I brought. Look at. And sometimes now they'll bring in a piece of something. But for the most part, what they bring in is alive, and it's just they just want to show it off. So yeah. So I'm glad you guys got to hear Adventure. Adorable little gray mouse. He's so cute. But I can't kill him. I don't want to kill him. I don't want to kill I want to save the birds, save the rats. Like we did. We totally saved the rats too. I know. And I know that rat's going to come back, and I know he's going to bring friends. I know. But I can't. So here you go.
we are on spot.
Is it back on me?
You going
Oh.
back on?
No, Ozbot's not following.
Come on, Ozbot.
Oh, it locked on the mask. It's like, well, that's close enough to him.
It's not him.
Fine.
Grampy said I should make a nice stew with all the wildlife that he brings. Alicia says, my dog stepped on sticky traps, so I don't buy them, but my dog doesn't like cats. She's going to get a Ruby soon if she doesn't learn to catch mice and take them outdoors. We had a dog that was a ratter, which was a surprise. It was a very big white husky mix, and he ended up being a ratter. Surprised me. Alicia says, they are cute, but I don't want to kill them. Oh, they're adorable. Could not say not do it. Bob says, yeah, I think that's why I've heard an owl outside. Boy, we've got a lot of owls, and
Well, and yeah, we had a lot of standing brush and stuff outside, and there was just a lot of property cleanup to do. And they live in those big brush piles. And I'm setting myself up with these, 1-inch pieces or so of hair. I'm gonna do this whole hairline in a second.
Realm says you're gonna put a beard on the masks. I think that would look good.
I don't know. I was thinking about it. We'll see.
Rebecca Hudson says the Ozbot is doing better. At least it's not looking at the ceiling.
Yeah. I am gonna turn this heater off now. I'm a little warm. Okay. Honey, I'm so glad we got that camera, the sound with phone cam figured out.
Well, that's very frustrating,
It's figured out.
but I'm glad it works. I thought you were gonna say that you were glad that the mouse was alive.
No. No.
Good night,
Just the
Stockholm.
fact that mouse is on this property with 4 cats and 3 dogs. That mouse's days are numbered.
Go, Mouse. I believe in you.
Yeah, he should move to the neighbor's house.
You can do it, Mouse. Time is 9:45. 84 people are watching.
Alexa, count down 10 minutes.
Good night, Queer Pats.
Good night, Mario. Now I'm going to use a slightly different technique where put silicone on, put the hair in it. But I put the hair in it further back, about half an inch back from this. This where it's all sewn together, that's a real thick edge. These scissors, Rodney Pope actually gave to me. I used to use electrician scissors all the time a while ago. I just kind of fell out of favor with them. He sent me some and reminded me how awesome they were.
Scarecrow would like to know who your pick is for the Super Bowl.
Who's playing? If you tell me who is playing, I will tell you who I picked to win.
Did you know that the Super Bowl is tomorrow?
I had forgotten.
See?
I remember it at one point in time today, and then I mostly forgot.
Yeah.
So who's playing, and I'll tell you who's going to win. And I guarantee 50% accuracy.
Buddy says, is it just me? I've got my sound turned way up and I can barely hear most of the time. It's Chiefs versus Buccaneers.
Okay, so Chiefs being Indians, and then Buccaneers being Pirates. I think my money is going to be on the Pirates because they have cannons and stuff. So I think that my money is going to be on the, and like, where's it going to be? If it's on the beach, I'm giving it to Pirates. If it's if they're like in the middle of the forest, I have to give it to the Indians.
So Body Geek says that he's got his sound turned way up and he can barely hear most of the time, and Felicia F agrees.
Okay, well, I don't. Okay, you know what? Earlier, you guys had me turn the microphone down a little bit.
Let's try it again. Try to
So- Righty loudy. All right, and let's go. I made an adjustment and I touched it. It's going to take a second to come back. Now I'm right under it, so this barely counts. Let's do that again. Okay, so that should be much louder. That should be some louder. So there you go. This is the first time tonight that I've heard it's been too quiet, so that's a little weird that I've heard that. Is that any better? And say the word, type pine cone, and then better or no better. Pine cone is your password to help me figure out when sound-wise.
Pinecone better. Pinecone better.
Okay?
Baba Dawson says, sounds like my process for picking out bottles of cheap wine. Cool and pretty labels. Pinecone better. Thanks, guys. June Ritchie says, Pinecone better, but the phone cam is still much louder than the other audio.
Well,
Pinecone, it's great, sounds good, sounds
yes,
good.
because when I'm using the phone cam, I'm holding the phone. So you're going to get that. Or it is 3 feet in front of Shannon. Even right now, I am 5 feet away from the Yeti.
Cara Beauty says, thanks for working with us.
No problem. Don't be afraid to tell me things, but also understand if I can't act on it right away. That may be the case. That's just a more natural hairline.
82 people are watching. It is 10 till 10.
Hi, everybody. What day is today? Is it a Saturday?
Today is Saturday.
I just pull it a little bit to get just some variance in that line. By doing an inch at a time, I just have good control.
Kalisha F says, I'm loving the hair edge method.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to spend the time to punch hair because the cost of the mask would go up so much. It just takes so long. There's a lot of time investment in that. So I'm not going to do that because I don't want this to be a $300 mask. But this method, it's a good mix of looking good. It gives you a nice edge, and it's pretty fast.
Bloody Effects. What clientele are buying masks in January, if you don't mind me sharing? You don't mind sharing.
Just people who like masks, you know? I mean, I have a slight advantage where my work is seen by a lot of folks. So, like, no one tonight has said, I want that mask, I'd like to buy it, but sometimes that happens. Right now, 80 people are viewing this work.
And it will go up on the website.
The only people who buy masks are people who see masks. So if you're not showing your work to them somehow, then your odds of selling are just way less. Hey, buddy. My dog Cheney is very needy.
You know what he's saying.
Yeah, he's saying, hey, it's time for us to head to the house.
He's ready for you to go.
Cheney is ready for bed.
He's ready for bed, and he wants you to stop working.
All right. No more pets.
Oh.
All right. Let me finish this head. Let me finish this head up, and then we'll go inside. Let's go to picture in picture again.
Gotcha. The King says, Alan says, I don't want a $300 mask, but the mask will be sold for $299. No, not that one.
No, yeah, I mean, this is going to be, it's a $75 mask. It's a half mask. And then I added hair, and that's $25. So this will be a $100 mask.
Ezekiel says, how can you deny that beautiful boy?
Like this. No.
Good night, Ken.
I
Christian
say,
says, Cheney said, yes, there will be more pets.
I say nay, nay.
Doggos do not know, but they have new TREATSs in the house. So when we get back, they will get something special. It is impossible for me to go to a store and not get them treats. Oh, they almost heard that.
Yeah, careful saying that
Sorry,
word.
sorry. Baba Dawson says, I want to cuddle him and Boris and Bella. It's funny how vocal he is and wants that attention.
He is, we have very vocal pets.
Realm says, I do love that mask. It is so cool. Rob O'Brien says, that look of what the heck. The dogs have, you know, oh, they've got a piece of hair. Do you care?
That's fine.
Because they were raised during the lockdown, they are very accustomed to coming into the shop and working, and they're very accustomed to Alan's schedule. So if he goes over, they get annoyed, or they know it's almost 10 o'clock and they're ready to go in and go to bed. They're very, very attuned to his schedule. But if anybody ever comes to Monster Camp, Beth and Scott and others who've been to Monster Camp before, Body Geeks will tell you that part of your Monster Camp experience is lots of petting of dogs. Lots of petting of dogs.
Alexa, stop. That tells me I've got about 5 minutes.
That's correct. 81 people are watching. Ezekiel says, I'll swap Spooky for Cheney. Don't tell Big Dog, though. Yeah, Ezekiel, Big Dog tried to take, when Big Dog came to Monster Camp 4 last January, not last month, but the January 2020, Cheney was 9 weeks old and the cutest fuzz sausage you ever saw. And Big Dog very much wanted to put him in his carry-on and take him home. Cleisha says, that's my fear, being home so much now that my dog is attached. When I go back to the office, she will be lonely. Body Geek says, and lots of eating good food and getting a bad physical and higher life insurance rate. Come on, Body
Hooray.
Geek. Scarecrow, will the silicone not be visible when it dries?
It's actually pretty, I mean, look up here. Do you see silicone up here? There's a little bit of a sheen to it. When you tap that little bit of powder and that goes away. Yeah, I think part of it tonight with audio is I'm facing away from the microphone because the mic is right behind me. So maybe tomorrow I'll change some things around and I'll paint from the middle. That's not hard to do. It is a different thing to set up a shop for filming. And my shop is set up to be efficient at mask making. So I'm having to turn it as much into a studio in every sense of the word. And microphone in the middle of the room really seemed like a good idea. And maybe I move away from the Yeti mic for broadcasts. And next month I'm probably starting my podcast. Surprise, surprise.
It's a surprise.
So I'll probably be starting the podcast next month. And I'm definitely using the Yeti mic for that.
Body Geek says, no, it's true. I paid $15 a month more because of my weight gain while I was there because it was so good. You're very sweet. Ezekiel says, fear not, the Aussie will fix it. Cat Swift says, I was house sitting for my daughter. They go to bed early and I was binging TV. And at 2 in the morning, the cat ran into the room, ripped my leg and bit me till I turned off the TV.
Yeah, man, they do that. They want you they want you to do what they want you to do.
Alicia says, it's an awesome idea because you're always in different areas depending on what you're doing in the shop.
Well, that's why I thought putting it in the middle would be good. But right now, this 10 nights of painting, I'm going to be facing away from the camera most of the time. So I just have to work on that.
Ike Camacho said he could pass for a Delbert Grady. Scarecrow says, what powder do you use?
There's a translucent setting powder for makeup. That works really well to do it. But honestly, talcum powder works too. It'll just give it just the slightest bit of a white sheen. Because talcum powder is really cornstarch now.
You're at 10 o'clock.
Yeah. And I have 1 minute of work to do. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just apply a little bit of gloss to this skin to make him look a little more alive. And I'm actually going to apply some gloss to the back on under his eyes. I know that under your eyes isn't really a wet area, but I think it adds a lot of life to masks. So I normally do that to them. That's it, man. We did it. All right, we did 2 masks tonight. One of them got haired. We painted the bat creature up. If you want to look at that paint jobbo. I'm going to do him with gray hair, gray fur on his cowl. And then, go off a tripod. Go to PIP. Somehow tripod got stretched.
Oh, that's strange. Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. says it looks good. It's amazing what you can do to a mask in 5 minutes. June Ritchie says, oh, I hear you.
What does June Ritchie say?
Both your voices are well balanced volume-wise. Lottie Geek says, how about multiple mics with a switching system like cameras, or could hook them into a sound mixer board. June Ritchie says, oh, I'm sorry. Kat says, I think your idea of moving Shannon closer would be a simple solution.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do to move Shannon closer. But then I have to work. Well, no, yeah, I'll move Shannon closer. That's the easiest solution.
Let's just try that first and see if
But-
that fixes it.
We're now at the point in time of the evening where my wife says goodnight.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for sticking with us.
Do you want to wave?
You can't see him, but Jonesy's right here. He's asleep in the table.
And everybody, I thank you guys for hanging out with us. This was night 2 of 10 colorful nights. And tomorrow night, I'm painting a Nosferatu mask and the Doom Shroom mask that Masked Slasher, one of our frequent viewers, made. And I'll give you guys a sneak peek of the Doom Shroom before. Look at this guy. Look at how fun this is. And this isn't quite on. I haven't glued this part down yet. I glued it all together. But that's how I'm going to glue that. This is Doom Shroom that I'll be painting tomorrow night. I just think that's the funnest. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us tonight. Go make stuff.